So if you have a client who has mobility issues, they're obese or vision impaired, I bet they don't have a clue of what's lurking inside their home and behind the things that they cannot reach. Let's talk about that in today's episode. One of the segments of our population that I found have been somewhat overlooked when it comes to in-home cleaning are the demographics of the people who have mobility issues or vision impairment issues. People with mobility issues who may be having a walker or wheelchair or they're driving in a scooter are not going to be in a position to be able to reach certain areas in the home that will accumulate dust or accumulate germs and bacteria. So with that in mind, that's a whole category of people who at times need care, but because they are not able to do certain things, it creates a hazard that's ongoing in their space. One of the things I know for sure is that if a person is needing to get around in a scooter, they're also not going to be in any position to move furniture and clean behind furniture. They won't be able to clean windows and reach up high, clean curtains and things of that nature. All of these things will impact their health. Even though their issue may be mobility related, they have a tendency to have an environment that just has not and cannot be cleaned unless someone from outside actually comes into that space. I do have a story of a lady who was she's actually has hoarding issues, but she's also, she's not able to walk, so she has a scooter that gets her around. And one of the challenges that she has is that there are things on the countertops that she can reach, things that she's placed there, but she cannot thoroughly clean her shower. There's certain areas on the floor that she cannot clean because of the footprint of her actual scooter will occupy the space, will prohibit her from actually cleaning underneath certain items, and this becomes a hazard, especially when we talk about, once again, infestations of dust or mice activity. A rodent will enter into a place where a person has maybe a mobility issue and the droppings that they leave behind don't get addressed. One of the things I talk about is identifying mouse droppings. People sometimes are not able to identify what it actually is when they see a mouse dropping. So I say, well, brown rice, yes. Black rice, no. If it looks like rice and it's black, it's feces from a rodent, and that carries with it its own type of bacteria, and disease can fester inside there as well as in the urine of the mouse. So if you're a person with a mobility issue, the likelihood that you are going to even be able to see the mouse droppings on a countertop are very slim to none. Some of the hazards that people have if they have pets and they have mobility issues, that is, if there is a mouse infestation in the house or mice have entered into the home and they defecate along the perimeters of the home, the cats can actually pick up the dust from the urine, which could carry the bacteria, and when they lick their pads, then now the mice are vectors for the disease. Cats can have their own type of bacteria that can make the environment unsafe for you, especially if you're pregnant, and there's something called C. diff. People are pretty much aware that this comes from the droppings from a cat, a litter box that may not be changed as frequently as it should. So when a person has issues with, for example, vision, same situation applies, that if there's a mouse infestation, they don't get to see the mice running around the house. If the mouse is dropping droppings behind the furniture, along the edges of the wall, if they're urinating up on the countertops, then what happens is this goes off the radar because they can't see it. If you're a caregiver and you have a patient who is wheelchair bound, or maybe they're in a scooter, or they're walking with a walker, or they have a vision impairment, or maybe they're totally blind, it's worth it to give us a call so we can come out and do a thorough evaluation and assessment of the healthiness of that home, because these things will not be attended to from their prompting. They will not give you any indication that you need to do any of that stuff because they're not aware that these things could be problematic. I'm the incredible Gregory Hunter, and here's to keeping your patients and your team incredibly healthy. This is not maid service, this is intensive cleaning. So reach out to us with the information below and we'd be glad to help you.